The Iowa offense has notoriously been absolutely awful, and they very rarely can seem to get consistent production from any player that's not a tight end on the offensive side of the football. But this year, one player has completely turned around the offense and broken the single season rushing touchdowns record for the Hawkeyes, and that is running back Kaleb Johnson. Johnson has been an awesome player all season long, and his draft stock has skyrocketed over the past few months. In a running back class loaded with talent, how high could we see Johnson get selected in the 2025 NFL Draft? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. This is a re-upload as the people who own the college film don't want you guys to have access to it, but if you guys want the original video, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my full in-depth draft guide with scouting reports for over 550 prospects in this class, as well as player cut-ups and the ability to participate in weekly polls that allow you guys the opportunity to vote on which players you guys want in a future video. Leave a comment and let me know which players you guys are interested in, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Kaleb Johnson. Johnson has been super interesting to watch this year because coming into the season, he really did not have much great production for the Hawkeyes. He had 117 carries for 463 yards and 3 touchdowns on the year, and really wasn't a player I thought much of when I watched him over the summer. This year, he has improved drastically. He has 223 carries for 1,535 yards and 21 touchdowns for Iowa this year. He's been a dominant runner, but he also added on 190 receiving yards this season as well, and he is skyrocketing up draft boards as a result. The first thing that really stands out with Johnson is his really good size for the running back position. He is 6 foot, 222 pounds, and he uses his size to his advantage. He runs like a bowling ball. He has elite contact balance and is a very hard player to bring down, and he is consistently falling forward and fighting for extra yardage. He has 1,004 yards after contact this season and has forced 62 missed tackles. He has the ideal build that I think NFL teams are looking for in a starting running back. Johnson also has really good vision and runs with great anticipation. He sees the holes as they open up, and his initial burst to hit that hole is some of the best in the entire draft class. He is a decisive runner who makes good decisions, and I think that's another thing NFL teams value is the smart runners who have good vision, and Johnson brings that to the table. And mixed with his burst and quickness, I think he could be an awesome zone runner next year in the NFL. Johnson has also brought really good value to the passing game. As a receiver, he has some really soft hands and has shown the ability to catch screens and catch different types of passes out of the backfield, but I also think that he has shown the ability to pass block as well. He could easily be a 3-down back at the next level because he brings a lot of versatility in the passing game as well as what he brings on the ground. The biggest issue that I have with Johnson is that I think he really lacks elusiveness. There are times when he has a hole to the outside and all he has to do is make a jump cut to get there, and he's just unable to do it. He doesn't have many jukes or cuts in his game, and it leads to him being a mostly north and south runner, and I'd like to see that improve for him. The other issue that Johnson has is his long speed. He doesn't have a second gear to really blow by people, and he slows down the further he gets. His quickness and burst are really great, but he doesn't have that elite speed to take the top off the defense like you would be wanting to see, and I want to see that improve for him. Johnson is a very powerful runner who has elite vision, he's got great burst, and really great quickness as well. He's got some really great upside, but I do worry about the long speed and the lack of elusiveness in his game. Those are just traits that I value quite a bit, and he just doesn't really have that. But with his receiving upside, his ability to block, he is my number 6 running back in this draft class, and I know some people are going to think that's a little low, but I just think he's missing a few traits here and there that I'd like to see. He is my number 76 overall player in the draft class. In terms of a scheme fit, I think Johnson would work best in a heavy zone rushing scheme. That's what Johnson has done best at the collegiate level, as Iowa runs a ton of inside and outside zone concepts, and he has great instincts to know where the holes will be opening up, and he has the vision to make the play, and I think that's where he's going to thrive in the NFL. My player comparison for Kaleb Johnson is Carolina Panthers running back Chuba Hubbard. Hubbard has had a breakout season this year, and he has incredible vision for the running back position. Both of them bring upside in the receiving game, they're decisive and smart runners, and do a really good job of breaking tackles and fighting for extra yardage. Hubbard is in the midst of a breakout season this year for Carolina and has been a big part of why the Panthers have been pretty competitive all year long. I think Johnson is going to have a very similar type of impact in the NFL as more of a guy who might be viewed as more of a power back the first couple of years, but the more he gets comfortable in the NFL game, I think he could really develop into a really versatile type of player. Kaleb Johnson is a decisive runner. He has elite vision and burst and offers some tools in the receiving game. He's a really good back who has had a major breakout for the Hawkeyes, and ultimately, I believe that Kaleb Johnson will be a top 100 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.